Oh man, we're live. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Don the Kraken Wit, and this is Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 6, Unbound, Unbent, Unbroken. I have the wonderful Zoe here, and Sir, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, let's start with Sir Don Willi.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I am Sir Don Willi of the MacBook from Brooklyn, New York. I'm the guy who, if you know about me at all, I do Game of Thrones videos, I do profiles for the most part, opinion pieces, and, have the various backgrounds. I travel the Seven Kingdoms as well as Essos to bring you my opinion of characters of A Song of Ice and Fire.
Right. Sir Lt Giles, man, welcome back, dude.
What's up, everybody? This is Sir Lt Giles. First of all, I want to apologize for last week. I was really intoxicated last week, so real quick, just apologize to everybody. But no, I'm grateful to be here again, like every week, and let's do this.
All right, let's talk about Arya.
All right, so can I go first?
Yeah.
All right, so this is like, it's funny because I watched every episode every week, usually by myself. Last week I watched it with my roommate because his wife and kids were at home, and that's usually when we watch it together. But anyways, I watched it by myself, and right when it cuts to the scene, I'm like, this is an Arya scene. I like knew it right at the beginning, and then when I saw her, washing everybody, and it kept on going and going, and I was like, man, this girl, she's doing it, she's earning her keep, man. And I really enjoyed Arya's scenes, especially when Jaqen kept on hitting her and he's like, Who are you? Lie. That was awesome, man.
Well, it's funny, like he hit her every time that she actually did lie. I'm like, I thought she was like stressing out when she was telling the truth more than when she was lying. So and we got to see the faces, man.
Oh yeah.
Like I was like, way to go, HBO, way to go. Like it was great. Don Willi.
Yeah, that actually was great, and it's funny though because the way that they looked, I was almost getting the impression that they were going like that. Maybe some of the faces might move. Now I know that didn't happen like that in the books at all, but it would have been crazy if while she's touching like that one face, if it would have just like twitched a little bit or something like that. Now that would have been freaky. But to touch on what LT brought up about Jaqen hitting her every time that she lied, you notice when it came to the Hound, it was like, she's like, oh, I hated him. Lie. No, I did. Lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if that could possibly be some foreshadowing, because again, like many characters on the show, if we don't see them die, then they're not dead. But I'd like to see what's up with that. But I do like the fact that she actually is starting to learn what the words Valadaharis actually mean.
Dude, I wanna say two things real quick. One, they must have had some like really crazy tall ladders in that place to get them faces way up there. But besides that, I started just thinking this crazy crackpot theory about them serving the many-faced god, and they had that room with all the different, like you saw the drowned god and the red god of R'hllor, and like the seven, and it was really cool. But I think that why does everybody die every time they drink that water? And so I was we were talking on a breakdown a couple episodes ago, and I was like, what is it, just like a well full of like freaking poison? Like ha ha ha. I was like, well, what about every time that they come in and somebody drinks it, they actually die? What if this death is like for real? Like when they pray to the many-faced god, he actually takes their life, or is the well just full of poison? It's like I don't get it.
I think it's mercy.
Crazy.
I mean,
Yeah.
well, you go. You go.
I was just saying, I think it's the gift of mercy because the little girl was in pain, and Arya eased her down and gave her some of the stuff. So I personally think it was a gift of mercy.
Okay,
Well,
but is it a well full of poison that kills them? Like people just drop dead in that little chamber, or is it actual death coming in and taking their life because they, you know, pray to death?
I think what it is more like the fact that they, at that point, they're making themselves vulnerable. Like, Arya lied to that girl. Okay, so they're trained in lying. Like, that's pretty much what it comes down to, so that they can relate to whoever the patient of the day is and make them vulnerable enough to choose to let go. So ultimately, no matter what religion or faith you believe in, that's what it comes down to, is to let go and like let God, or let whatever your God is. And that's what they do, and that's what that little girl did. And it made her faith real at that moment. Whatever God she believed in, her faith was real because she thought that it would, make her better. And so she believed in it, and then she got something bigger than that.
Okay, did she die because of her ailments or the water
I
that
think it
Arya
was the
gave her?
water. Their only like function is to make the people there, to accommodate to them and make them comfortable and make them at ease when death comes. You know what I mean? Because death is gonna come, whether it's their own decision or someone killing them. It's gonna come, and
No, but like people drop dead like
but
30
they
seconds,
drink.
a minute after.
Yeah, and they drink that, and I think the point is that is something, like something is in that. If it's
It's in the
poison
Kool-Aid.
magic, yeah,
It's in the
it's
Kool-Aid.
something. But the
Bionic
ultimate,
Buck says
like,
it's in the Kool-Aid.
the
I don't
ultimate thing is that it's like they're letting go or whatever.
Go ahead, guys.
I don't think that if anybody just goes up to the well and drinks it, they're going to die. I think you have to ask for the gift of mercy because the father asked. He said she's in pain. And the guy that was with Jacka a few episodes ago, or I believe it was last episode or the episode before, he was talking to Jacka and we couldn't hear what he was saying, and they had like a stare down, like a look, and the guy looked sad too, and he drank and he died. So I think it's a gift of mercy, in my opinion, man.
well, one thing that I think it could possibly be is it might actually be those little bowls, because I was watching, I think it was a Roris video about poisons that in the world of Ice and Fire, and I know they were saying that there's a lot of poisons that the only way that they work as a poison is if you actually mix them with something. So what if the water isn't poison alone, but has to be mixed with like whatever substance that the cup is made from? And so that, it might be a thing where it's like, in order for you to activate the poisonous chemical, you have to use those little bowls that they use.
See,
But what?
I was thinking it had to be a sleight of hand, but like you're right, it's got to be the bulls because Arya didn't fucking have poison on her.
Yeah, but what if like I don't know if it, not saying that once they touch the bowl it just activates, but I don't think that any regular person could come in, get a bowl and drink it and it would work. I think it has to be one of them, like one of the faceless men or one of the no one people or whatnot.
Or actual, their faith is real, and when you submit yourself to death and say like I'm done, and you come in and
Yeah,
you
because
mean
that's
it,
the ultimate God.
there's death literally like Grim Reaper style comes in and takes you.
It's making yourself
That's
vulnerable.
what I was trying to like get at.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
makes.
well, I think it could definitely be that. Um, the only reason why I would be a little skeptical is because, mainly because of George R. R. Martin and what he said about religion and God in this particular series. Like, even with R'hllor and the Great Other, he, pretty much said that, if there are gods, the only ones that might be real are those two. So who knows? It's one of those things that is, and until George actually says, yes, this is the thing, which he might never, just to kind of fuck with people. We might not ever get the full answer to that. I would like to know the answer because I think that's very intriguing as to whether or not it's an actual thing where if you pray for death, then you will get the gift of mercy, or if it's a thing where it just happens to be some scientific element or some magical element, as opposed to it being, a thing that you get from the God that you normally pray to. So.
I know if I was the Sea Lord of Bravos, I would march on the House of Black and White and kill everybody in there, because as long as they're around, I'm vulnerable. So I would take all my men and destroy them.
Yeah, dude, just take them out, man.
They find a way to evade death. Like, they're masters at whatever they need to
They
do.
just slip into the shadows.
Yeah. Become nothing.
You guys got anything else on Arya?
Nope.
Oh no, that's all I got.
All right, man. Fucking I thought Jorah was gonna get his ass whipped a lot worse than what he did.
Yeah, he got his ass whipped way worse in the book.
Oh, yeah.
What's funny is I didn't think they were going to do that part. I didn't think they were going to run into the slavers at all. So that actually took me by surprise.
Did anybody recognize? Oh, my bad.
Yeah, it was the guy from Lost. I knew that he had been cast a while back. That actor, I forget his name, but
It's hard to pronounce.
yeah, it said that he was going to be some sort of slave merchant, and I was like, well, how are they going to do it? Is he going to be Is he going to be like that auctioneer, from the books, or who's it going to be? But I think this is the guy who's going to submit. Jorah's going to be his champion in the fighting pits.
Yeah, I mean, and for what it looks like, apparently, I guess that probably won't be the next episode. It'll be episode either 8 or 9. Looks like, and hopefully Jorah won't die this season.
Well, no, dude's going down. So
you think Jorah's gonna die this season?
He's got grayscale. Well, I don't know about this season, and trust me, I love Jorah. I don't want Jorah to die, but I mean, he's got grayscale. Either he's getting his arm cut off, or he.
First of all, I want to say after the video, I'll explain to you why he's not going to die, because it'll be spoilers to people who haven't read the book. So I'll explain it to you why he's not going to die after the video. But we skipped the scene that was so epic, dude. The one with Tyrion and Jorah when they're talking about his father and everything. That scene was so awesome, man.
Yeah, that was kind of heartbreaking too, because Jorah has lost contact with pretty much all of Westeros after he severed ties with Varys, and he's just now finding out about his dad, about what happened. And also, you think about it, it's like his dad gave up being the Lord of Bear Island in order to give his son Jorah the chance to be the Lord, of that region. And then for him to not see his dad again, and the last thing that his dad remembers of him is basically disgrace.
Hey, guys, let me interrupt you real quick. Ellis Potter jumped in and said hey to everyone, and he said he's gonna go back and watch the video. So what's up, Ellis?
Hey, what's up, Ellis?
Oh, man.
All right, what about Tyrion when there was it'll be a dwarf-sized cock, and he's guess again,
Classic. I love that. I loved it. And
I love show Tyrion more than I love book Tyrion, because book Tyrion is way more ruthless than show Tyrion. Show Tyrion is way more compassionate and way more likable.
The thing that I like about show Tyrion is the fact that we get, his wit, a lot quicker than it comes off in the books, and a lot, it's a lot funnier, and also his negotiation tactics, his on the spot thinking, like when the slavers got him, and they're about to sell Jorah and kill him, he's like, wait, all right, you guys are going to Marine, they just opened the fighting pits. Hey, I gotta fight it for you. This guy right here,
Yeah.
And the fact that at least Jorah was able to pick up on that and say, yeah, I killed a Dothraki horse lord, etc., as opposed to him being like, oh yeah, because in the books he's all depressed and shit, and he's just like, they beat me up and took my stuff, and I'll never get to see Daenerys again. Where. So I like that Tyrion was able to turn the tables and save the both of them.
I was surprised that Jorah didn't have his sword on him. I mean, where was his sword?
He probably lost it in Valyria.
Oh, possibly, right?
Or hell, he probably took it off because imagine like swimming through the water carrying dead weight passed out dwarf. It's
Yeah.
like get that sword off you, dude. It's weighing you down.
Mm-hmm.
Lady ZoeHeart, what do you think?
Yeah, you've been
Talk
pretty
about
good.
that all the time.
Yeah, we keep looking at the comments over here. Don Willi, if you could, since you got your laptop, you could probably find the link to the feed and pull up the comments here. Like we got a lot of people here, like Alicia Kingston. Zoe loves your comment about loving Arya, but can't wait to see who Rickon's gonna turn out to be.
He's
And
got the wolf blood.
T Baby's here, hiking through with Steffi. Bionic Flux, Icy Spots is here.
Okay, this is gonna be weird because I guess I'm gonna be actually watching it.
Talk about that all the
No,
time.
pause it. Yeah, we're
All
looking.
right, so all right, cool.
Yeah, pause that.
Yeah, no, I just turned off the sound or whatever. So cool. I can actually, yes, I can see his comments.
Yeah, and so like I have it like split screen to where I have us over here, but then in a little bitty section to the right, I have everybody's comments. Alaric76, one more person. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
We can see you, everybody. We can see you.
Yeah, this is
So,
great
what you
because
got?
I'm actually seeing myself on delay right now.
I forgot what we were even talking about.
We were talking about Jorah, and Ellis Potter kind of made a quick prediction. He was like, hey, Victarion hurt his hand, getting cut by catching a sword, like on his left arm, like kind of like I'm just saying, like prediction, dude. If they merge Jorah Mormont's story with Victarion Greyjoy, I'm gonna be pissed, man.
Oh, yeah, that would be so cheap.
I'm gonna be,
That would be so cheap.
yeah, man. Low blow, Ellis. Low blow.
Man,
Anyway, what are you guys done with Jorah and Tyrion, or do you
yeah,
want to move on? What you want to do?
I'm done with it.
Go to part. So I think the worst fighting scene ever was the one in the water gardens. It just didn't seem right. Like it seemed so planned out, and all of a sudden, Jamie and what's his name?
Ron.
Yeah, Jamie and Bronn are coming into the water gardens, and the sand snakes are coming out. And I'm just thinking, so they're letting Marcella and Tristan like just walk around right after Dorne says that they need to be watched and this, that, and the other because it's dangerous together.
Well, hang on. We'll get to that in just a second. It's just like the fact that these sand snakes, they live there. That's their house. You know what I'm saying? And like they put up little scarves, and everybody has like their signature weapon. You know what I'm saying? It's like me wearing a ninja costume, running around in my backyard, trying to You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, what are you doing?
And it was
You
way
know?
too easy for them to get in. They just walked right in. And I don't know, it just seems so weird. It just seems so weird. It was the worst fighting scene ever.
Yeah, it's like how, well, okay, I could see how if anybody was gonna like sneak in, it would be Braun and Jamie. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though Jamie is missing a freaking hand, like he's still a bad. His knowledge and everything, he's a fucking smart dude. They could have got in there. Them two could have got in there, but then I'm just kind of like, Dorn, where are your defenses? It's like all of a sudden they just run up with Ario, and dude, I'm in love with Ario. Like, he is the fucking man. Like, and I was kind of upset a little bit. I was like, I just don't think he's gonna do him justice. I always saw Ario with a big beard, but he's fucking amazing. Like, I love Ario, and I hope he gets to fight somebody. But we all were wrong. I said that Ario was gonna kill Braun, and a lot of other people did too. Like, yeah. And so I think that when he got cut, he got poisoned.
Damn it, man.
Yeah.
That was Oberyn that fought with poison. Stop that. That's not Ario. Oh no, wait, who?
Oh, Braun.
Yeah,
Braun got cut on the arm.
Cut him.
Oh yeah. Well,
Who was
for the time being, I just want to say I'm happy that Braun didn't die because I also thought he was gonna die. But how funny was it when the fight ended and Braun told Tyene he was like little girl or something like that, and she got mad at him. She's like, ah!
Hey, Braun got poisoned, dude.
Yeah.
When someone else said in a couple videos like ago in the comments that Braun was gonna die or whatnot.
Yeah, but I think well, I know I did, and I think there was a lot of other people that thought that Braun was going to get into a fight with Ario, and Ario was going to be the one to kill him. Nobody saw Tyene scratching him.
Yeah, what a bitch way to die.
Which,
yeah, he's about to go down hard.
I mean, it's funny though, we probably should have expected that only because it's the Sand Snakes. They're going to have the same kind of weaponry as their father, and why would their weapons not be poisoned? And also, it's like, yeah, you know what? The obvious way for Braun to die is in a blaze of glory, not writhing in pain, possibly falling off his horse on the way back to King's Landing.
Yeah, he's a fan favorite. You know what I'm saying? And like, what a traumatic way to go out. I'm telling you, like, it's about to be complete and pure agony for this man. It's like everything that the Mountain went through, it's like basically is going to happen to his ass.
Yep.
I disagree. I think we would have saw her like the same way when Oberyn, before his fight, we saw his squire doing that thing to his weapon. I think we would have saw something like that. I think Braun's okay.
I think that happened just to let us know what they do, like their way of getting their upper hand in a fight, because they're fighters, they're small, you know what I mean? So they have to use what they
and
can.
LT, dude, like, let me break it down for you real quick. Don't forget about Oberyn when he was 15 years old. And
I was just about to bring that up.
Yeah, dude, like, don't forget about that and how that happened. Okay, and don't forget about when they brought the skull there and all the sand snakes were they were at that feast and then was taking him back to the room. Doran says, like, through my little birds, we know that the Mountain screamed and was in agony. All of my reports, saying that, like, it was the worst thing ever.
Yep.
So like they're not gonna zoom in on Braun's arm and show him a little dinky scratch, but we know because of the Sand Snakes talking with Doran, the fact that he even broke his skin, the man was dead.
We listened to that today.
Yeah, we did listen to that today. Actually, that was crazy.
Damn it! I'm gonna have to do a Braun update video now.
It's great, but like it kind of goes back to that poison. There was two different kind of poison references You know, it's the House of Black and White, and you know the Sand Snakes poisoning Braun.
Oh man, oh man.
Well, we will see. You guys believe that he's poisoned. I believe he's not. So we'll see. Only time will tell.
Oh,
You know, hey, LT, you live in Vegas, right? So you're a betting man, right? Yeah. So I'll bet you right now what you want, man. Braun got poisoned, dude.
I say he doesn't. What do you want to put on it?
I don't know. I got 5 on it.
All right.
All right, cool.
listen, I'll take that bet.
I
Yeah,
just
yeah.
I just wanna I wanna if I lose or you win, it doesn't matter. I will laugh my ass off just when the $5 check or money order whatever gets in the mail. I'll make a video too. Like if I win, I'll make a video and I'll say this is my $5 check from Don Willi.
I got 5 on it. That's
Yeah.
what's
So, Don Willi, you're riding with Don on Don the Kraken with that. He is poisoned, right?
Yes, it's Don Mania.
All right. So
Don Mania.
okay. So if I lose, I'm gonna have to send a $5 check to both you guys, or $5 money or whatever.
Yeah. Oh man, that's gonna be crazy.
I know, and it's gonna be hilarious.
Oh, okay. So what's her name? Olenna?
Lady Olenna.
Yeah, she's back. And I loved her. I loved her when she was in season 4, and she was I don't know, she was just awesome and witty, and like you had to like her because she knows how to fight, you know what I mean? But she's old, but she's not gonna let anyone.
All right, look, Lady Olenna was super cool before, but all of a sudden now you just see her like, you know, 6 episodes deep in season 5, she just opens a window and says, "Holy shit, you can smell the shit from like miles away." It just like slams the window. I'm just like, yes, like this is the coolest chick in the world. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, I was so happy to see her.
Yeah, but so things are going down in King's Landing, and that's more than interesting. Just because this Faith militant, like being a show watcher, we have no idea really of like who the heck they are, and then we see what they're capable of and like how balls to the wall they are with their faith, and they're getting everyone. It's like hide your kids, hide your wife, because they're getting everybody. Like seriously, but they're coming down on Marjorie and Loris. Like, I wasn't expecting that. And then his squire is testifying and everything. I wonder if they're going to be able to get back at him, or if Olena's going to find somebody to get that guy or something like that. That'd be cool.
Well, you know what? I'd like to actually talk about about Loris's trial, and you know, we often don't get to know how long the passage of time is when it comes to events that have happened in the show, right? But I think the fact that they showed Loris with a beard and mustache and all that, and also I think his hair looked a little bit longer. I think that kind of signifies that he's been locked up for, I would say, at least 3 weeks, maybe a month.
Yeah, because he grew out his facial hair. I was like, Sir Loris, where's that beard been this entire time, sir? I was like looking sharp, you know? Like, I was like, damn.
That's like when Tyrion came out of the box. He was looking rough. He was looking mighty rough. But yeah, like it's crazy. Everything's coming in, happening out of the wazoo, and you're just like, dang, the Faith militant is crazy. They're gonna kill everyone.
All right.
But I like it. Like, and it's so weird because I know that Cersei isn't. She's not for this. Like, she's never talked about the Faith before or anything like that. So I feel like something's gonna happen. But I hate how when in the scene with Cersei and Lady Olenna, like. I don't know, it just seemed like Cersei got the best of her in that, and I'm like, you could have did way better. Like, you know what I mean? I felt like she kind of just backed down.
I mean, but what was she gonna do though? Because
I don't know. I just want Cersei someone to just kick her ass.
All right, so we saw Marjorie, you know, like, especially in the previews, like, you know, like, I guess in like being held, you know, captive basically, and like all this stuff is going down with her too. So Zoe was like, "Hey, do you?" And this is a book spoiler right here. I hope everybody is fucking read, but she was like, "Is Marjorie gonna take Cersei's role? You know, more or less, kind of walk of shame style?" And I was like, "No, no, 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 no," because like from the show standpoint, it's like Cersei is using these people, but I think like right when Cersei gets really fucking comfortable, the High Sparrow is gonna like turn it around on her, and shit is really, really gonna hit the fan. They're not gonna have a simple trial, you know, and all that shit. It's gonna be like a very, you know, big event, you know, to drag her through the streets.
Yeah,
and
because
whatnot.
I bet that even though crap, I feel like this is crazy spoilers, but I think that even though Marjorie is the queen, she knows the rumors about incest and everything. What if she says something about that to the High Sparrow while she's getting held up, and then he questions her during the trial, and like I don't know, it'll be crazy. Like
I
what if
think everybody that lives in Westeros has heard a rumor about Jaime and Cersei.
right?
Like,
So
I think that's like kind of inevitable, you
it's
know.
crazy.
So I think that the High Sparrow is just kind of,
Playing his cards.
yeah, playing his hand right,
Yeah,
you know, and he's gonna wait until the perfect opportunity.
I can't wait. I just need someone to be.
Pisses me off, and this is my way of thinking is, okay, we know that when House Tyrell teamed up with Renly, that they said they had over 100,000 troops. So I'm assuming that House Tyrell had at least 40,000 of them, or maybe 50,000 of them. So I'm assuming that House Tyrell has a lot of their troops in King's Landing. So it just pisses me off that they don't just fucking just take Loras by force and fuck them. You know what I'm saying? That's what pisses me off. They can if they want to. You know,
Yeah, Tommen, right then and there. Okay, so
Yeah.
what did we see? Like three Kingsguard
And they
sitting
had their
behind. What was it?
hands.
Three or how many was standing behind him?
It
Okay,
was like three.
it was three. Even if it was three King's Guardsmen, three of them, you could have 12 men in that room in robes, in like just a simple wool cloth. Those three Kingsguard would annihilate that entire room.
Like cake.
Yeah, I mean, like for real, like there's nothing that they could do. Like, and basically the crown at this point could smash the church.
They could, and if that was Joffrey, they would have
They
been
would.
sliced in half because he was ruthless, and that's exactly what we said in the reaction. We were like, yeah, Joffrey wouldn't have let that. You need Joffrey in this moment. He would have gave the command, and it would have been dealt with just in there. Hi,
Hey,
Claire.
Claire. Yeah, shit.
Hi, Claire.
What's up, Claire? Claire Gray is in the house.
Hello, my lady.
Yeah, man.
Notice that
Man,
episode.
listen,
Yeah.
that whole scene. I mean, look, that is probably Cersei has made a ton of blunders, and that is probably one of the only times when she's been able to outmaneuver the Tyrells in such a manner that it puts the entire family in jeopardy. Because think about it, she sent away Mace Tyrell already, right? So he's away with Mira and Trent and possibly is going to get killed, or he might get saved by Arya, which is what a lot of people are predicting. Uh, Outmaneuvered Marjorie by having her perjure herself to the faith militant, and then also already having Loras imprisoned. And so now it's like, all right, what is Olenna Tyrell actually going to do in order to counteract what Cersei has done to her? And then there's still the Littlefinger angle behind this because Oliver works for Littlefinger. So who knows what's next?
And we haven't got to that scene yet about Littlefinger. That's an awesome scene.
Yeah. Well, what about Littlefinger walking in and seeing Lancel?
Yeah,
Yeah.
You
Brother
know,
Lancel.
You
Yeah,
know,
I was super cool. Or like Littlefinger punked the shit out of him.
I
You
know.
know?
As much as I hate Littlefinger and I want to slap him in the face because he's a conniving scoundrel and I can't stand him, I respect him because he plays the game better than anybody. And like like you said, how he
He's
punked
super
him
cool. He is the
and just
game. The whole show, Game of Thrones, starring
Peter Bailey.
Peter Baelish. Yeah. Peter Baelish and friends.
Right.
Yeah.
And come
you know what's the crazy thing about that is, like you said, that Pete punked him, but did he really punk him? Because you gotta think about it like this: as soon as he mentioned that he was on the Queen's business,
he
that he was doing Cersei's business, that's when Lancel let him by. Now, Cersei is the one who basically put the Sparrows and the Faith Militant on this crusade. So even though we know that Lancel kind of made a veiled threat to Cersei in episode 1, at this point it still seems like Cersei's name holds weight amongst the Sparrows, and it's like, all right, well, oh, if you're doing something for Cersei, then all right, cool, yeah, we're not gonna bother you with the stuff that would normally bother you with.
I think that they're playing their cards too, because just like he said, he thinks it's gonna like do a 180, the faith on Cersei and whatnot. I think that they know when to strike too. Like when the High Sparrow would give his word, all of them are behind him, no matter what, and Cersei is no longer gonna matter. It's just that they're playing their cards right now.
Fair point, very fair point.
I can't
But
wait.
either way, Peter, he's no longer Littlefinger. He is no longer Littlefinger. He's Peter fucking
Yeah,
Baelish.
yeah, it's Peter Baelish. And
Peter
if
fucking Baelish.
yeah, if there's any I've said it before. I'm a big fan of the audiobooks, of this series. And once Littlefinger takes over the veil and everything like that in the audio books, his voice changes. Like the voice actor Roy Dotrice, he started using a different kind of accent and way of speech. And I always thought to myself, I was like, this was Littlefinger being put to rest, because
Killing the boy.
good job, killing the boy. In reality, like, Littlefinger is a joke. It's a jape. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a stab towards that person.
Remember Brienne talking about being a joke?
Yeah, it's the same fucking thing. Good job. And then like him. And I felt that was true in the audiobooks. It was like him putting Littlefinger to rest and Peter Baelish coming to the forefront. You know what I'm saying? Like his name now is
Holding weight.
Yeah, like big weight. It's like he's doing everything in the Vale and the Eyrie. Isn't he still the Lord of Harrenhal?
technically, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, and that was the thing that I was saying before when I originally made my prediction about the Sansa thing in the beginning. Was that him already having the seat of Harrenhal and the Lord Paramount of the Trident. If I'm not mistaken, being Lord Paramount of the Trident also makes you the Lord of the Riverlands, doesn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so we got the Riverlands, we have the
The Vale.
entire Vale, and then now he's going for fucking Warden of the North?
Yes.
Like, yo,
Stark is there.
Damn!
that's why.
Okay.
That's why. Listen, from now on, he's not just Peter Baelish. He is Peter fucking Baelish.
Yeah.
He's
Got to throw the in there.
strong. Like he's
Yeah, it's like Game of Thrones, starring Peter Baelish.
and you just
and
see
friends.
his come up,
Yeah.
and it's awesome. Like
That's
he's
great.
damn, Peter.
Hey, okay, let's go ahead and do it, guys.
No. Not yet. No.
Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, I need to take a breath. Oh God.
In
Okay.
the audio books, it's pronounced Pitar. He says Pitar. It's funny.
Yeah, Patire Baelish.
You
Yeah.
know what? I never even realized that he changed his voice. I'm gonna have to go
Yeah,
back
dude. Yeah,
and
it's really cool, and like I notice it now, but like I remember like the first time that I heard it, I was like, what the hell, you know, like because like I'm used to like Roy Dotrice, he'll like develop a certain kind of speech for like one character and he'll maintain it, but then like it was just like a flip of a switch, like he just switched, so I was just like, okay.
It's like Jekyll and Hyde.
Yeah, and I had this crazy theory. I was like, oh, Roy Dotrice knows more than we do. And he just like changed his voice. You know what I'm
He
saying? I was
warmed
just,
into Peter.
yeah, man. He just like warped from one accent to another one, man. Oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, he did that in the books. I took note.
Mhm.
The clouds of impending doom are upon us, and we're trying to evade them. But it's there. It's the elephant in the room still.
It wasn't that bad. I'm gonna be the first one to say this. It wasn't that bad, and it was way worse in the books. It's all good, man. Trust me. It's all good.
All right.
Start.
Before we go there, let's set up everything else before we get to trauma time.
All right, so like Claire Gray just said, the Veil Knights. Like what about Peter saying like, hey, we have some of the best fighters in Westeros,
Ever.
if not all. Like what is Peter gonna go back north and try and do something, or is he gonna pull him out and go south?
I think
Peter,
I think personally, he's not going to have to move because he doesn't need to.
I think Peter's plan is what he was saying. He said if once Stannis and Roose fight each other, the winner, then his plan is to go in there and take him out. That's what I think.
Exactly. He's going to wait until they're done. Then he's going to go. He's going to be waiting just outside of the borders. And as soon as he hears about whoever the winner is, then he's going to go in and try to create a bloodbath afterwards. And, like, hey, oh yeah, by the way, I got this royal decree, saying I'm the warden of the North now.
Whatever Peter does, I want him to do it and get Sansa and freaking put her back on. Like, I don't know. I want to believe that he's really going to help her. And I think he really is. And I think he's playing smart. And when he does strike, it's going to be hard. And he's going to bring the hammer down. And, like, people aren't going to fuck with Peter Baelish and Sansa Stark. And they're going to know what's up. And I can't wait.
I beg to differ, young lady.
Yeah,
I'm going to say right now. I'm going to say right now that Lord Stannis will say, "Let Lord Fat Two Horse come. Let them all come and
Yeah, I
fucking
forgot
take
about
them out."
Stannis. He hates Peter. But if he's going to
He'll
give
take
Sansa
Peter out. Peter Baelish can never fuck with Stannis, so let him come. That's what Stannis will say.
Like, dude, I thought that
But what if he unites the North against Stannis?
He won't. Nobody would trust Peter after what he did to Lord Eddard Stark.
Yeah, you're right.
Nobody knows about that though.
Dagger to his throat.
what about the bathtub scene?
I hate Miranda. I wanted Sansa. At first, I kept thinking she was gonna hurt Sansa. I thought she was gonna like cut her or something, pull her hair, anything. I want Sansa to have like a freaking blade on her and just slit her throat open at any moment. Because I hate that girl. Like, I don't know what she's gonna do, and I feel like she's trying to kill Sansa. Cause I don't know.
No, I literally think Miranda is sitting there. She's
Taunting her.
in the play, and she's laughing at Sansa. Like she's making everything very dramatic and like washing her and being very sensitive and telling her things, but she's being very soft while she does it. But she's laughing at Sansa, you know, Sansa's like, oh, you can't frighten me, and she's like, fucking, it's not me that you need to be worried about, honey. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Sansa doesn't really get it yet.
Because she doesn't
You
know
know?
Ramsay.
Yeah.
How crazy it is.
Treated her though at the end when she said, "I'm Sansa Stark of House Stark, and I'm not
I
afraid
mean,
of you."
that was gangster. You know, like I was like Sansa. You know, like
This
great.
is my home.
Yeah.
You will
Well,
not.
I mean, well, you know, the crazy thing about that scene, the bathtub scene, is so you have Miranda who's telling Sansa some real tales. You know, she's telling her stuff that actually happened, and I think that Sansa thinks that no, this is just all hype. You know, this is all you just trying to scare me, so you're making up fictional stuff. Because for her, you know, many people in the North, A, didn't know who Ramsay was to begin with, and B, even if they did know, they have absolutely no idea the full extent of his depravity.
I don't
So
know, dude. I think the bastard of Bolton had a slight reputation.
he had a rep in the books. He didn't have a reputation in the show because think about it. Peter Baelish was saying that even he didn't
Right.
know
Okay.
about him,
You're right.
and just you know from the final outcome, look as much as you know Peter Baelish might be the dude that's just gonna kind of sell you out. I think that he actually didn't want to sell Sansa out, and I think the fact that what happened to her did happen is proof that Peter Baelish really did not know about Ramsay.
I so thought that freaking that Miranda was gonna bring up Lady Hornwood. I so thought she was gonna say that.
Is that
Now, they decided. I mean, like I think they've cut out a lot of his background because you know they didn't even have the brother that he killed, which I thought they were going to bring up last episode.
Well, I thought that if Miranda would have mentioned Lady Hornwood, it would have been like a homage to us book readers. So I thought that's why I thought they were gonna do it.
No, I think they're still trying to keep everybody in the dark as much as possible, which is why even with the uh, with with the previews now, they're only doing those little 30-second clips because if you notice before, they used to do like a 30-second clip right after, and then sometime during the middle of the week they might do like a minute and a half or 2 minutes, and now ever since they had the leaks from earlier this year, we've only gotten 30-second clips, so they're trying to like keep us in the dark as much as they possibly can, and I think that also extends to to the actual show, to where they're like, look, for you book readers, we don't want you to even know what's coming here.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, as book readers, we've been slapped in the face about like 15 times,
Shit,
20, 30 times.
man, oh man. So do you guys want to get to it?
Well, I have to say that Sansa looked pretty beautiful in her wedding dress.
Yeah.
warm too?
You know what's funny?
Hey,
It was pink.
Go ahead.
The dress was pink. Did anybody notice that?
No, what? Dude,
Yeah,
you got a bad case of the blue and gold dress right
Yeah,
now.
it was white to me. It was
Yeah,
pink.
That
Or
was
like
gray.
gray or
Yeah, it was like a light gray.
like gray. I don't know. It's about to come. Well, no, it's about to come back on again now. But I'm not gonna get to see it to the very end. But it looked like no, not pink, not like super pink. But to me, it looked like a very light pink.
I didn't pick up any pink in her, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't.
I have to say that Theon was looking pretty nice too. I mean, they got him looking good for.
Yeah, they definitely cleaned him up.
Yeah.
he looks.
Yeah, it was man, it's. But when I saw after the ceremony, and you saw Miranda actually still was looking jealous there.
She looked like she was crying.
I don't know if she was crying, but she definitely did look
Yeah,
upset.
and there was a couple people in the comments saying that Miranda was crying.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I know she definitely did look upset. I couldn't see whether or not she was crying. I wasn't watching on the big screen this time around. So, um, yeah, I was man. It was definitely one of those things. It looked like she wanted to say no when,
Yeah.
when
I
like
thought
when
she was
this
gonna say
man.
something
Like,
smart.
dude, I thought Theon was gonna fucking stab the motherfucker in his neck, and they were gonna leave. Spoiler alert. Like kind of how they vacate. How Theon leaves in the books. But
I thought if
I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't see Ramsay fucking just like slamming it down on Sansa.
oh
You
yeah,
know,
in that scene, that's what I thought. I thought when Theon closed the door, he was gonna take out Ramsay. They were gonna leave.
like if the next scene, like the opening of episode 7, is not Theon or Sansa like stabbing and slitting his throat, like I'm going to be severely upset. Like
I
for
promise you that Sansa will get some moon tea. Don't worry, she will not be having Ramsay's baby.
I don't give a shit about that. She's no longer a maiden, sir. And like that makes me feel a certain kind of way. And like we talked about this in a previous breakdown and everything. I was just kind of like, nah, fucking Sansa, like in the books and whatnot. I felt kind of bad when the Kingsguard beat her, but I was just like, nah, like, and then, but now, yeah, I'm stepping back and like I'm looking at it, and then like especially now this season, looking at Sansa in in this season, like I said it like what 2 weeks ago, last week, I was like my heart really goes out for Sansa, and then now all of a sudden this happened. I'm like overly traumatized right now about a new character that I just started liking, so
An
it
old character that
an old character.
I mean, well, here's my question for everyone on the panel. Do you guys believe that that was the traumatic scene that they were talking about, which was difficult to shoot, or do you think we're in for something possibly even more shocking?
I hope more shocking, but not
I
with
don't.
Sansa.
No. Like I think what Don Willi's talking about is the actress like
Oh, her
tweeted
herself.
out, yeah, that her character like progression was going to be extremely traumatic or like something along that nature. Don Willi, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, but she definitely, her and the actor who played Ramsey and the actor who played Theon said that there was a super traumatic scene, and I'm wondering, was that it, or is this something even worse?
Well, I mean, it's kind of expected, like I was thinking about it like when they were getting married, I was like fucking A, they got to go consummate the marriage,
Yeah.
and even in the books, this isn't a spoiler, but like 9 times out of 10, when people get married and they go into the room for like the bedding, they have people standing on the outside of the door to make sure that like it went through for like witnesses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To make sure that the marriage happened. So it was. It's so stressful for me, man. I mean, like I'm rocked about it. Like I don't know. I feel bad for Sansa.
Shouldn't
I
even feel bad. You shouldn't even feel bad for Sansa because Peter told her we could go back right now, and she said yes. She knew what she was getting into, and that is the dramatic scene because
but
they didn't
she
even show
nope.
nothing. They didn't even show her naked or nothing. That is the dramatic scene. I promise you, nothing else. We're not going to see nothing else.
I mean, nah, but you know what? She didn't know what she was getting into, man. I'm telling you, just from, I think just from the fact that Peter Baelish said that he didn't know anything about Ramsey, told us everything we needed to know in terms of how, how in over their heads they both were for this. Because I am wondering what happens when Peter Baelish finds out. But truthfully speaking, I don't think that Sansa is ever going to see Peter Baelish again after this until it's time for him to go through the moon door. I think that's the next time that Peter Baelish and Sansa actually see each other face to face is when she's telling Robin Arryn, yeah, remember what I told you about what he did to your mom? I think you might want to do that right now.
How does she get back with him?
Yeah, so you're saying that Sansa is going to tell Robin to push Peter out the moon door?
Yes, or at least she's gonna, tell him, hey, you know what? Yeah, he's the reason why your mom is dead.
Wow.
How is Robin right now? We just see him kind of
Well,
fighting. And
Robin right now is being fostered by the voices,
Yeah.
and like I've been telling people before, I think that that right there is enough foreshadowing to tell us that he's not going to be killed. Because a lot of people, spoilers for, I guess, Winds of Winter, uh, for the release chapters, a lot of people are thinking that Sansa is going to wind up killing Robin Arryn in order to get with his cousin Harold Harding. And I've been saying for the longest that, this book series and also the show has relied on people underestimating the authors and thinking that, oh, they're just going to do what the obvious thing is because, they put it right there in front of us. And I think that that's not what is going to happen. The obvious thing is to kill Robin Arryn because he's so weak, but that's exactly why you don't do it, is because that is the obvious thing to do. So I think that he winds up surviving to the end, and that he winds up getting revenge and killing Peter Baelish. And I think that somewhere along the way, Sansa does find out about Peter Baelish betraying her father in that throne room.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen in the show as far as Robin, doing all that. I think that's only straight book.
I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, I mean, if you think about where it's going, Peter's basically betraying the Boltons, and he plans on going north, and becoming one of the North. So I don't see him going back to the Vale in the show. Maybe in the book he hasn't left the Vale, but I don't see him, going back to the Vale in the show.
I mean, I don't see him going back this season. I don't think he gets back there until. Uh, I don't think Peter Baelish gets back to the Vale in a ruling capacity. I think he only gets back there, like after. And mind you, this is going into theory craft or whatever, but I think he was going to run there after everything else has collapsed, after the White Walkers have already flooded into some of the more southern parts of Westeros, and he's like, all right, well, I need some place to go. The Eyrie is the best place because, who's going to be able to get to me there?
So you're probably talking a Dream of Springs in season 7.
Possibly,
Yeah. No, but that's fine. It could happen. I ain't gonna doubt you. It can.
Yeah, but I definitely don't think Peter Baelish gets to rule at all. And mind you, he's my favorite character out of the series, but I don't think that he actually gets to uh, do any kind of ruling whatsoever.
Well, hey man, at least your favorite character like fucking made it to the show, so fucking kiss my ass.
I mean, listen, that he became my favorite character kind of by accident, though.
That Don Willi, the mastermind, had it all planned out from the get-go.
Hmm.
Sir Don
like,
Willi. Did you
like,
see his little something? Yeah.
like I said, I don't like Peter Baelish, but I respect him because he's crafty and he gets shit done. So I do respect him, but I don't like him.
I don't love Peter Baelish, but I really, 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 really like him. Like I'm like I don't have any kind of like ties, you know. Like if he died, I wouldn't be sad, you know. But like I really like him as a character. He's awesome.
He makes
What about when he told Ned he was like, if Joffrey becomes a problem, we could just we could out him, and then Ned goes, that would be treason. He goes, only if we lose.
T baby, you don't like the fact that I don't like Littlefinger or he's so bad. I mean, like no, I think Littlefinger's overall goal is to help Sansa. Like he has put her in a very questionable state, you know. But I think overall, you know, goal is better than what it is right now.
Wait, hold on one second,
even though
Mr.
he's
Kraken,
the
Sir
beginning.
Kraken. If you think that Littlefinger's goal is to help Sansa, then you have not been paying attention to what Littlefinger has been doing. There's no. He doesn't want to help Sansa. He wants to help himself, and he wants to possess Sansa as part of helping himself.
Okay, I'll get. I agree with him escalating himself as high as he possibly can, but does he have feelings towards Sansa or for Sansa,
Or Catelyn.
or is she just a pawn?
I don't believe that she is just a pawn, right? But I'm trying to think what's the best way I can put it. To him, she is a trophy, you know. Now, he might have to use her as a pawn in order to collect her as a prize later on, but to me, she is a trophy. He didn't get to have Catelyn, which he felt he deserved, but now he's like, all right, well, I didn't get her, but I can get her daughter, and, you know, if I have to put her in compromising positions in order to not only gain her trust, but in order for me to get everything else that would come along with me playing this game that I've been playing, then so be it.
I hear that. That sounds good.
Yeah, so
Guys, what else do we have?
Oh, we missed one scene, and I just wanted to bring it up because I thought it was pretty funny when Jamie and Bronn were on the horses, and Bronn was singing about the Dornishmen.
Oh yeah, good scene. I was like the Dornishman's wife. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
hmm, yeah, the door. Oh man, ah, man, oh man.
And I
So
also, oh, sorry. Go ahead, Don.
I was gonna ask if anyone had any predictions.
Oh, I was just gonna say before we started predictions, I was gonna say me and Don, we have a crush on Nymeria, and when Nymeria told Marcella, he was like, "Come with me, princess," and we just got to see a close up of her face, and she's yeah, I think she's so beautiful.
Yeah, Lady Nin is killing it right now. She's best casting this season, 100%. Me personally. Oh man. Hey, let's but before we do predictions, do you guys want to rate the episode at all? 1 to 10?
10.
Man, I'm gonna go with about 9.5.
I would say Arya killed it. Like all her scenes were probably the greatest. You know, like from Jack and beating the shit out of her. You know, like to us seeing a couple levels down in the House of Black and White, and like it reminded me of like some of the places in Lord of the Rings where like you know you could just see like columns, you know, like all the way down, you know, all the faces. It was just so epic for me. But the sand snakes kind of are the black and white to that. You know, it's like that sucked so bad, and you know, it broke my heart. So I'm gonna give this one about an 8.
Wait. Say what you said about when Sansa's wedding was going down with Bran.
Oh, boom. Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. Thank you. I said this when we were watching the show. They went and had the wedding in front of in front of the tree. Bran saw the whole fucking thing.
Oh yeah, I mean, well that's that part should be obvious, I guess.
And then
Don't think
are we gonna have Bran start talking to Theon? You
Yeah,
remember
next
when in
season.
the chapter a Prince of Winterfell, like you hear Theon in the wind, and Theon's like, "Who the hell said that?" You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
are we gonna have a Bran influence? And this is kind of a prediction for later in the season. Um, are we gonna have interactions with Bran? We're not gonna see Bran. We're not gonna because they said you're not gonna see him. Maybe they said you're not gonna see him because we're gonna show him in some other kind of form, being the Green Seer that he is.
that'd be cool.
I mean, that would obviously be a very good thing for them to do. I don't know, man. This one has kind of been throwing me for a loop because they have been hitting us with so many curveballs. So I'd like to see them do that. Just to bring something from the books into the show. But man, who knows?
LT?
Oh no, I think okay. So I've been thinking about this a lot, and everybody was all worried that we're gonna, not catch up. Like the books or the show's gonna pass the books, but I personally think that this show, will end. Like it won't spoil too much until next season, and I think like they're saying we're gonna get the book when's the winner before the start of next season. So I think we're gonna be fine. My personal opinion. I want to give the episode a solid 9. It made me clap as far as when I found out that Bran wasn't dead because I really thought he was gonna die. So I give it a 9, a solid 9.
He's a dead man, sir. I'm sorry. He is a fucking dead man, dude.
You want to know my predictions? My prediction is Bron's not gonna die.
Oh, you owe the Dawn Mania, the Dawn Inception right now money.
Oh, God.
Okay?
Well, not yet, sir.
Yeah, not yet. You don't know yet.
Guys, hey, do y'all have anything that we forgot to talk about?
I feel like there's something in there.
Something
Not that I can think of.
I think we covered everything.
It's there.
Yeah, you totally got something in your eye. Yeah. You didn't get it.
Oh, I want to know something. So, are we going to see Sir Don Willi next week?
Yeah, I guess most likely I'll probably do this again.
Yeah, I don't know, like
No, it's
a couple hours with you dumbasses and
it's not even that. Like it's 11:50 here now, and normally I would be
live
going.
in the same time zone, sir.
Oh, okay. So sorry about that, bro. I forget sometimes. All right, but normally I have to get up by like 4:30 for work, so I'm usually not up at this time, which is why I try to get my videos done before, like as soon as the episode finishes. I usually try to get my my spoiler reviews done. But I decided to not do those and do this with you guys instead, which I actually like, and I wish I didn't have to get up so early on a regular basis, so this way I can do more of this stuff with you guys.
Well, we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, dude, it was a real treat. Icy Spots sent me a message. Don Willi, just like I told you, I was like, hey, we got a special request. You know, like we got to give the people what they want, man. You know, so
Yeah, I'd like to, thank everybody for joining us today, and also, thank you for the compliments, and also for your analysis in the chat room as well. I've been reading what you guys have been putting in there, and I've been also trying to join in with the conversation in the chat room as well. So, thank you for all your participation.
well, I don't think LT can see the comments at all. So, is there any kind of questions or anything that anybody has for anybody? Steffi says, what are Zoe's thoughts and predictions like going forward?
I predict that somehow, one of you guys were talking about it. You were like, Theon's going to light the candle in the tower and Brienne's going to come and save Sansa. I want that to happen. So I want to predict that. And I want Sansa to do something. Like, she's a Stark in Winterfell. Something has to happen. Something has to happen. Oh, and I hope more dragons eat more people.
I think everybody wants that. Don Willi, bend the knee, sir.
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
I believe it's bend the knee.
Yeah,
Right. You can do it right, so.
Yeah. Listen, you know what? I'm actually surprised that people have not gotten tired of that one yet.
No, it's great. Like, it's like you psych people out. It's like it's silent for a second, and I'm like, are my speakers working? Let me turn it up real quick. And then all of a sudden, it's like, bend the knee, and it just blows everybody's head off, dude. It's great. I was like, it's ingenious. Why didn't I think of that?
Oh,
Hey, what?
We got a question from Alicia Kingston. Do you guys think that old lady might be working for Ramsay?
No.
I not. I mean, well, you know what? Because it's funny because, she kept on bringing up the North Remembers, and then last episode when they were having dinner, Ramsay was like, the North Remembers. And I thought that as soon as he said it too, and I hope not. I hope that's just the saying that a lot of people in the North have been saying. But you know what? Because you got to think about it like this. The whole saying of the North Remembers is specifically because of the Red Wedding.
Yeah.
So.
And when Ned Stark's death, because remember, they had an episode in season 2 called The North Remembers. Not season 2, I'm sorry. Yeah, season 2.
Okay, well, yeah, that was because, all right, but that was because of what happened with Ned Stark. But, but that wasn't a statement that many people were using.
Oh, you're right.
That I can think of. Like, the first time that I've ever actually heard anyone actually say the North Remembers is when that lady came up to Sansa when she first arrived in Winterfell. So,
But right after that, because that happened, then the next episode she said there's people that like you or whatever, so light the candle. But right after that, we see Sansa at the tower and Miranda comes up. And it's like, I don't know, that made me think that something was up with that. It made me not...
Oh, sorry.
So, like, from a storytelling standpoint, not like the actual books or anything, but like trying to progress the show forward, you're just taking everything away from Sansa now. Like, literally everything. Like, she has no... The North does not remember, and there's nobody coming to help her.
But the Boltons are weird, so I don't... If sometimes I don't know if her savior is going to be who we think it is, and if Peter is actually on her side, or if it's just going to be some wild card things, and then we see Sansa taking it into her own hands and things like that, and having to play by herself, Like, I don't know what's going to happen. So,
hold on 1 second, guys. I got something that I want to bring into this.
Yes. This pizza's really good.
Yeah. I'm about to go grab a slice too.
Yoink.
What kind is it, Zoe?
I don't know. It tastes like spaghetti.
It's bruschetta.
So this is 100% tinfoil, but I think that you know who the possible savior could be?
Who?
The Hound.
Oh.
Why'd you say you have tinfoil?
Oh,
I
because
know, I know. Shout out to Ladonna, but Ladonna would love that.
well, I say tinfoil because a lot of people have already written the Hound off as being dead after the end of last season. So, and we haven't gotten any indication or foreshadowing that the Hound is coming back. So, for the time being, tinfoil.
I know that, like I was saying, how I like show Tyrion better. And remember in episode 10 of season 3 when Tyrion said the Northerners will never forget.
Yeah, he did say that, and in fact, and Tywin told him, yeah, I hope they do remember. So,
Dude,
yeah,
we remember that Don Willi predicted that possibly the Hound could save Sansa, and if that happened, you're a mastermind.
let's see. Uh, Hold on. I'm being asked if I can repeat what I first said. Um,
What did you first say?
yeah, that's the part. I'm like, wait.
About the Helm thing, or what are they talking about?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Alicia, what
I
exactly?
think the tinfoil thing.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that this is a tinfoil that the Hound might be the one who's supposed to save Sansa. Um, Because here's the thing, right? When it comes to the whole thing about Brienne and lighting the candle and all that, Brienne isn't close enough to Winterfell to see a candle in a tower.
Isn't she in like always winter or always snowing something? Always
No,
cold.
no, no. She's a little bit further south because yeah, she's a little bit further south in one of the inn keeps or hotels or whatever the hell they would call them. Um, So I doubt very highly that she is going to see a candle in the tower from like 10 or 20 miles away.
I remember seeing a map layout of Winterfell, and like they had the glass gardens and everything included, and more or less where everything kind of stood, and kind of on the outskirts of Winterfell, and it was bigger than just a castle. It had like a kind of like a marketplace and all of this stuff. And so I bet you that within the confines of Winterfell, because it's like the staple of the North, it's really big. It's more than just a town. It's more of a city, and so I think that Brienne is in a place that could be in, within Winterfell, but like she could probably see that broken tower, candle. But I don't know. And in reality, probably not. But in the show, as a storytelling place, yeah, she's probably close enough. But you know, I don't know. I just don't see her sitting like 15, 20 yards away from like all the Ramsays and the Boltons and everything.
Hiding.
And yeah, and like not being spotted.
And she's big, a big woman.
In the previews for next week, it looked like Ramsay was kissing Sansa goodbye, and Sansa looked sad. So I'm thinking that they might possibly going to meet Stannis to fight him.
Yeah, I mean, well, we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, winter has come, Um, yeah, winter has come because it's snowing there. And for the other times that we have been in Winterfell, like even during season one, we didn't see it actually snow there.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time we've actually seen snow in Winterfell, so I think that makes a big difference in terms of you know what the overall climate for not only just the region, but for what the show could possibly be foreshadowing for us.
Well, you got to remember in season one and in book one, we're still in the long summer and winter hasn't come yet. So yeah, that's why we've never seen no snow in Winterfell.
Now, the thing that kind of gets me is I'm surprised we haven't seen anything about the White Walkers at all. We've heard people talk about them.
We need to go back to the wall or something.
I mean, yeah, we've heard Stannis, and Stannis has mentioned them. Samwell has mentioned them,
Are you
and
saying like
Jon.
elsewhere in Westeros we haven't heard?
No, I'm saying we haven't seen them at all.
Oh,
Right in the show yet. Yeah, we haven't had a scene with them like.
I got a prediction. Sirs. All right, so this might be way off ball, but I just came to my mind, and you guys can say I'm crazy, but what if we see in episode 9 or 10 that the White Walkers have Benjen Stark prisoner, and that's how we see the White Walker?
wait,
What if
who? They have Benjen doing what?
he's been missing since book one, and
I know,
and
but what do they have him doing?
He's just in prison.
Oh,
the White Walkers have him prisoner, and we see him there. Who
that
knows, right?
at least we know that he's alive, and I mean I don't want to think that he's just a captured
We'll swim
person.
beyond the wall, and I can't remember if it was Charlie or Tony. One of them made a video on Benjamin Stark, and they said how he knows the haunted forest better than anybody, and maybe he got captured by White Walkers.
Anything's possible. Let's see here. Are we? Let's see. Oh, do you think they're gonna do the pink letter at all?
No,
Nah.
that's dead.
Yeah, that's gone. Bye bye.
I think we'll see some form of it. I don't think we'll see exactly the same pink letter that we saw in the books, but I think we'll see some form of it. Some form of it.
No, it's like John. We know from the previews, John is about to even leave Castle Black and go to fucking Hardhome.
Oh yeah, he's
Like
with Tormund.
that. Like if there's a pink letter challenge now, he's gonna receive it at Hardhome, and like like that doesn't make a lick of sense. So I think it's like,
After the battle at Hardhome, when they're finished, he could go back to the wall and he could get the pink letter in episode 10. I mean, Hardhome, I think, is episode 8 or 9. No, episode 8. Hardhome is episode 8, so we can see the pink letter in episode 9 or 10.
yeah.
It's
I mean,
possible.
I don't know. I doubt it only because we see if you've seen the preview for the next episode, we see Alistair Thorne telling John that he thinks it's messed up that he's going to Hardhome to help out the Wildlings, and as far as the books, I don't want to really spoil too much from the books, but it really was the pink letter itself that spurred the Night's Watch to to turn on John. Whereas this time around, it seems like it's really the Hardhome thing that might get them to turn on.
Yeah, possibly.
All right, T Baby wants to know: do you think the series will end at 7 seasons?
I think it'll probably end at 7 seasons, or I don't know, 8 the most.
What would have to happen for them to end it? Would we have to kill all the White Walkers and like the Azor Ahai or whatever would have to come about, or how would it end for them to end it? How would it have?
It kind of seems like they've, you know, not done away with the whole Azor Ahai thing, but they've really minimalized that entire that entire storyline because
So what
we never got Lightbringer. There's no mention really of Azora High other
We did
than season
Lightbringer.
2.
Don Willi, we got Lightbringer in episode 1 of season 2 when he pulled the sword out. They mentioned it was Lightbringer.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, remember in the
Oh,
book,
I got you. I got you.
in the books, that is a thing. You know, it's like, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
you're right.
I
Stannis
think
with the magic sword. Like everybody talks about Stannis and the magic sword.
I think that if they stopped it or something show wise and being a show watcher, it would have to be something with like Dany, being the mother of dragons, or I don't know if it would be her necessarily coming back to Westeros and conquering altogether, but like you see that there's things happening with Dany, like major power moves, and like she's a major character and she's like the last Targaryen or whatnot. And then something, I don't know what will happen with Jon, but we have hints of R plus O equals J from this season and whatnot. So who knows? Like they would have to end it somehow, but what would it be? What would
Well,
it?
oh, sorry.
What were you saying?
I'm just gonna say right now that you gotta remember one thing. This is the biggest show HBO's ever had, bigger than The Sopranos. It surpassed The Sopranos by a lot, and they mentioned this recently. So we could see 8 seasons or 7 seasons, maybe 7, but maybe 8. And then you never know. HBO could do what they want. So maybe we get 7 seasons and they work on a 2-hour movie on HBO if they want to. You never know.
Yeah. I mean, I think because HBO was trying to push to 10 seasons, right?
That'd be cool.
I don't think we're going to get 10 seasons only because they've pushed so far into like the Winds of Winter already, and they've cut out so much from the earlier books that you would really, really have to stretch the material.
A thought just came to my mind, Don Willie, and I'm sorry if I cut you off, but I'm gonna tell you right now. All right, so check this out. So this season we're getting the Dorn plot, right, dude? And this is gonna make Don Krakenwitz so happy. Next season they can fucking waste a whole season on the Greyjoys if they want to. And then
Waste a whole season?
I'm sorry, I apologize. I don't mean waste, but you know what I'm saying.
That's the word that you choose. Oh my god!
I didn't mean it that way. But what I'm getting at.
You wait till we get off live, sir. I'm
I think he means focus.
Yeah, I'll virtually slap him.
I think he means focus.
What I'm getting at is season 6 could be all about the Greyjoys, and then, dude, say they go away from Kingsland and all that, and just focus on the Greyjoys and all that. I mean, and it could, and we could get Aegon and Young Griff next season. You never know. You never know.
Nah, Aegon, Young Griff is a done deal, man. I think the moment that we saw Jorah with that grayscale, they have essentially said to the viewer,
I got it.
Book reader, no Aegon, period.
This is how it's gonna happen. See, Jorah has grayscale now, but Claire Gray's going to send him some bubble off, and it's going to cure that because he's going to moisturize it. Then we can have the whole Young Griff, thing going on. See, that's how they're going to do it.
And if you go to Claire Gray's website and use the keyword Kraken, you will receive a free dragon egg. So just want to throw that out there for everybody.
Oh, hilarious. That would be so crazy if we found out the grayscale comes from not using lotion. Like, you mean all this time all I had to do was put on some Jergens or some damn cocoa butter and I wouldn't have had this?
Did they have some kind of lotion back then in those times?
Moisturizer
right there.
I do. I think they had moisturizer because those people back then, especially in Dorne, it was dry over there, but they had nice skin. They were beautiful. They took oil baths.
Look, Claire said, "Ha ha ha!" So that's great.
That would be hilarious.
Jordan's just carrying a bottle of Jergens, dude. That's hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh, guys, are we missing anything?
No.
I think we've got everything we possibly could. I think we squeezed every bit out of the show that we possibly could today. Again, I'd like to thank you guys for inviting me here, and I'd like to thank everyone for their participation in chat rooms. Um, you know, you guys already know where to find me for the most part. Uh,
And don't forget to bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
Bend the knee.
yes, and oh, I didn't get to do any videos this weekend because I was out of town doing some running around with the family. But I will be back tomorrow pretty early, probably, with Sir Duncan the Tall
Yes, cool, awesome,
from the ruins from the ruins of Summerhall.
sweet,
You
sweet.
know how hard it was to find Summerhall, damn it.
Oh man, I bet, dude.
Yeah, so
Are,
Sir
are, you-
Duncan
are
the
you gonna
Tall.
do? Are you gonna talk about maybe the mystery of Summer Hall?
You know what? I'll probably do that in another video itself. I'm gonna after I finish with the next couple of character profile videos, I'm gonna go into overall organizations, theories, and I guess speculations. So
Will you mention? I just want to know. Will you mention how Duncan tells Eddie that he would cloud him in the ear?
oh yeah, we're gonna get for Duncan. That's mainly gonna be the stuff that happens in the Night of the Seven Kingdoms books. I know that hasn't been released as a full book yet, but we're gonna get into his whole Hedge Knight Tales of Duncan Egg series mainly. Like I'll talk about what they do mention in the Song of Ice and Fire series, but yeah, Tales of Duncan Egg is mainly what I'll be focusing on when it comes to Sir Duncan the Tall.
Sweet.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for coming by, and I really appreciate all of you watching. Zoe, do you want to say anything? No?
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys. LT, you good?
Just want to say, like, it's been a pleasure to be here every week. I'm almost approaching 50 subscribers, so if you're watching, give me a subscribe. I could use it. I really love it.
Yes.
All right, LT. I'll put both of your guys' links in the description. Okay.
Night,
Sweet.
guys.
All
What
right.
Hold on, before we
Oh.
forget, don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe, share, tell your friends, come back for more. That's been all of our times. Don Willi, and I'm out.
All right.
Yep.
Bye, everybody.